Welcome to stockmarketpunting.com, and what we're going to bring to you is the Fed Beige book. And a lot of you may not be really up to date. Maybe some are, maybe some aren't. We would recommend that the Fed Beige book releases their Beige book, and that's what they print in it and this and that. But here's one of the things that we want to tell you is that the economic activity continued to improve since the last report across all 12 of those reserve districts. Many districts describe the pace of the growth as modest. Consumer spending and tourism activity generally increased. Well, what it meant was there was some money that some people had who, took a gamble and went out and spent more. Business spending also rose on net, with unemployment and capital spending edging up, but inventory investment slowing. Inventory investment slowing by sector. Non-financial services, manufacturing, and transportation continue to gradually improve. However, the residential real estate activity in many districts was buoyed by the April deadline for the home buyer tax credit. Once again, stimulants here are in play, and all of the stimulants that have gone in the economy. And remember, when people weren't paying in the mortgages, they were out there going to Chipotle and spending money up or buying fried chicken with the rent they weren't paying. So what I am going to say to people is that what you don't realize is commercial real estate. I'm going to be doing a special on it. And 2 years ago, I said it would be toward the end of 2010 that there was a lag from the subprime to the real estate crash that you haven't seen yet, and that's going to be in commercial paper. They still have not settled this issue. And that is forward looking in 2011 and 12. You'll probably hear a lot. This will be worse than subprime when we get into that activity, and we will. Forward looking. Stay tuned. Another thing, labor market conditions improve slightly with permanent employment levels edging up in most districts. Well, let me tell you another thing about the economy in a world that you chose to vote for or not vote for. But people who did, labor market conditions improved slightly with permanent unemployment levels edging up in most districts. Let me tell you something. Once again, stimulant, entitlement related here. I highlighted your stimulant and your entitlement. And basically, short-term employment is here, temporary. There are many things that happen with all of this. Employment levels edging up in most districts. Well, let me tell you something. It's going to go higher in each district because the things that they don't tell you in here, municipalities around the country in the U.S., that's state by state, each state has a balance sheet, and those balance sheets have yet been reconciled. And we've used up a lot of America tax credits. We have stimulated, and we got a slight uptick in some of this. And this is what your Federal Reserve, see, there's 12 Federal Reserve districts. And it's the behavior within the body of that, along with your administration and various other key factors. What I want you to know is that there are a lot of, well, let's use it politely. There's still a lot of punishment within the financial system. And it means that forward looking is that there's going to be a lot of things that happen. One of the things that you want to, higher input costs were not being passed along to customers, and wage pressures continue to be minimal. Well, listen, this little thing I highlighted right here, there is a big consequence moving forward about how this will play a part in your economy. We'll talk about that on our Saturday SMFI on the Economy Show. However, what I want you to tell about all of this is the report from all of the stimuluses that started getting enacted or what they said would be, but what they really put in is all of that train wreck. This is the verbiage of what has happened since that time frame in general and just recently. But commercial real estate remained weak because this has never been reconciled, people. And it's going to be, you think the subprime was bad? Well, wait over the next 6 quarters and find out where we're here. How they're going to cover that one up, I don't know. Unless they're going to try to cover it up with your money. Or sell the ruined assets off to foreigners, who knows. The other thing, residential. But this is the big problem, commercial real estate. You don't know. Residential activity right here goes lower. And this other thing about this unemployment over here. We told people what our reports were 2 years, even a year ago. I've given reports forward-looking from 2011 up to 2015 about this, even down to the time element. And then not only am I doing that, then how you make money on the downside of all of the failure here, but more importantly is what's behind the headline and what do you use as your measurability to understand the real world versus the pumped up world that has not been reconciled. Anyway, welcome to stockmarketfunding.com. And there are great ways to make money when they go down. There are great ways to discover the truth in here if you have someone who can empower you with a system and a way to quantify the actual things that go on in here and what you're led to believe. But what is the real facts? How do I come up with those numbers? Well, hey, we're glad to tell you that we have that system. And it's the same system that has been used for many decades. And there's a big change in what's going to be happening. And we told people to come out of the market when they had a chance. And they didn't. But there are consequences in behaviors and reconciliation in everything here. There is. Part of it's working. Manufacturing and transportation continue to gradually improve. Well, it did because of the stimulants. But let me ask you this, in this little highlighted area, what happens when your stimulants come off in here? And where do your earnings go in the people that are involved in your publicly traded companies? And where could be a diminishing pattern within the earnings cycle moving forward throughout the next 2 quarters of this year and going into the new 2 quarters of 2011? And where are you and what system are you using? And more importantly is, what are you going to do about it? Anyway, welcome to www.stockmarketfunding.com. We're enjoying our trading. We have a lot of risk management tools. You can make money when there's failure, lots of it. And we can teach you how to do it. And we will. Anyway, I have given the full report on the Fed Beige book. Within the Fed Beige book report, current to what's in this video, is there's lots of reconciliation to be done, and forward-looking reconciliation will come. And we will be happy to go over each one of the key areas and where the failure will be, what it will look like, and how you being the one watching the video, what do you do? How do you protect you? Welcome. Thank you.